Now at 11, a catastrophic event unfolding in the Hollywood Hills, the iconic neighborhood, the latest under evacuation orders tonight as fast-moving flames force people to run for their lives.
Well, the fire was coming at 60 miles an hour and I couldn't see and it was so smoky, and I said, well, it's time to leave.
We'll take you live to Los Angeles and those fires that are burning out of control.
And more dogs injured by electric shocks. Neighbors in D.C.'s Navy Yard saw our report last night here on News 4 and said it happens there too. The possible connection between cases in different parts of the city.
Live look inside the Capitol Rotunda as former President Jimmy Carter lies in state. We're working for you. We have a preview of tomorrow's state funeral and how the big event may impact your ability to get around town.
News 4 at 11 starts now.
But we begin tonight with a look at those numbers. A true shock to the system. This is how cold it feels outside right now. In some spots, wind chills are in the single digits, and those numbers are only going to fall further. You may want to add an extra blanket when you get into that bed tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Hadley.
A blanket? I'm just like thinking everything else you got. Did you see the 5 on there? I'm Sean Yancey. Yeah, the weather out there is proving to be a very cold thing, and also a winning ticket for a lot of local school kids. Many of them will have a 4th snow day tomorrow. Others will be delayed by 2 hours. You can see the list right here on your screen. By the way, if any of those delays turn into closings, we will update the list at the bottom of your screen. All right, that brings us to Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Doug Cameron.
And Doug, this overnight refreeze is really putting school districts in a bind.
Yeah, because we're just not getting that melting. You know, we've had even a little bit of sunshine earlier today, then the cloud cover. We just don't see the melting because of these cold temperatures. And that's the way it's going to be for the next couple of days. The snow that we saw Monday isn't going anywhere. You can still see plenty of snow out there and still plenty of wind, too. That's the thing. I just got back from the Capitals game, went to the Caps game. Great win, by the way, for the Capitals. But I'll tell you, walking through downtown, it was brutal out there. You really need to make sure you're bundled up. Look at the peak wind gusts today. Once again, 35 D.C., 38 at Dulles, 38 Patuxent River, and I think the winds get stronger tomorrow. Look at the current wind chill, 14 in the city, 9 in Hagerstown, 17 Ocean City. It is a very cold night, and that means a very cold start out there to your Thursday. Storm Team 4 radar actually tracking some lake effect snow, and yes, we still have some trying to make its way through our area. Back to the west, we've seen a couple of lake effect snow showers in through areas like Winchester, over towards Marshall, Gainesville, maybe down towards Warrenton again. We've seen them from time to time coming on in here. That just shows you the real cold air and that fetch of cold air right out of Canada. Guys, we'll talk much more about that and our chances for snow this weekend coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Doug.
Tonight, the nation remains in mourning, remembering the remarkable life of our 39th president. For a second night, former President Jimmy Carter's body is lying in state on Capitol Hill. Hundreds of people are braving the cold outside, standing in long lines before filing past his casket to pay their respects.
While many of the people were paying their respects to President Carter inside, there were several security scares outside. U.S.
Capitol Police tell us they stopped one man carrying knives and another who tried to set a car on fire. Late this afternoon, officers received the call for a suspicious vehicle here on 1st Street. That area was blocked off while police investigated, and one man was arrested. Tonight, police said that man tried to set that car on fire and had a bag of accelerants. Police say there is no ongoing threat.
And hours earlier, police found a machete and 3 knives in a man's bag as it was passing through a metal detector at the Capitol Viewing Center. Police eventually arrested the man. Tonight, it is a much quieter scene outside the Capitol and also outside the National Cathedral.
And that's where we find News 4's Walter Morris with the story from there. Walter?
Well, Jim, Sean, we are standing on Wisconsin and Mass Ave, and prep is well underway for the funeral tomorrow. Now, if you see going towards the cathedral, traffic is now being blocked. Cars are being diverted going towards the cathedral. But if you take a look over here, you can see some of the barriers now lining Wisconsin ahead of the ceremony tomorrow. But this is just one side of the street that has been cordoned off. Let's go to video. Take a look at this. Now, we want to show you the other side of Wisconsin. Again, that is the other side of the cathedral, just a couple blocks down. The road closed off to cars there, and again, all in preparation for President Carter's national funeral tomorrow morning. There will be a brief arrival ceremony as the casket will travel here to the National Cathedral as the country mourns. Now let's go to the next video. This was just part of the line that stretched around the Library of Congress going into the Capitol this evening. Thousands waiting in the frigid temperatures to pay their respects to the peanut farmer who became the nation's 39th president. Now, some we spoke with traveling hundreds of miles and waiting hours to see Carter lay in state.
I have two sons that are dedicating their lives. One's in immigration, one's becoming a doctor. And they just want to do really good things. And I think Jimmy Carter was probably one of the first role models that they ever saw in their lives.
I've donated to the Carter Center for years. And, that's one of the first three that I'll fill out a check for. So, at any rate, I can't say. I mean, he's just a wonderful person.
That I respected him, a big fan of him. I like his books and what he did and just studied him. So I just wanted to come pay my respects.
People are looking at this as more as a monumental type of occasion because we have a new president that's coming in to office, and they're comparing the various presidents and their different policies. And so I think this is one that they're making a comparison with the new incoming president.
I'm back out here live, so you can see that is Massachusetts Avenue. Security will be very tight tomorrow morning for that funeral, and we're told that arrival ceremony is set to start around 9:30 a.m. Reporting live on Mass Ave, Walter Morris, News 4.
All right, Walter, thank you.
And our coverage doesn't end here. We'll be working for you with live team coverage all day tomorrow. At 9 a.m., Savannah Guthrie and Lester Holt will anchor an NBC News special. Craig Melvin will report live from the cathedral. Our coverage starts at 4:26 Thursday morning with News 4 Today. Now to the breaking news out of California. Live pictures show the eerie glow of fires lighting up the skies over L.A. For the second night in a row, a series of fires are burning out of control. The flames fueled by those fierce Santa Ana winds. Some of these fires are in densely populated parts of the city.
Now, right now, there is zero containment. 5 people have already lost their lives and tens of thousands have evacuated from their homes. Tonight, the city's mayor said more evacuations are likely.
If you receive an evacuation order, please leave immediately. If you receive a warning, get ready. Protect yourself and protect each other.
Countless firefighters from several states are now helping battle those flames. The fire has destroyed more than 1,000 structures. NBC's Jennifer Bjorklund is live in the Pacific Palisades with a closer look at the devastation. Jennifer, we spoke about, 3 hours ago. What is the situation like right now?
It is still windy, Sean, and it is actually feeling kind of cool out, which tells me that the wind has changed direction. It's coming off the water now. It feels pretty good. But the one thing that is for certain is that we cannot have another night tonight like we had last night. And I think that's actually going to be the case. The winds are still pretty strong, but firefighters are able to fly helicopters and make water drops. In the new fire that broke out right over the Hollywood Hills area off of Hollywood Boulevard. That's called the Sunset Fire. Broke out a couple hours ago, and they were able to get in there very quickly with 5 choppers making drops and also about 20 fire engines racing up the mountain because that fire just started spreading in all directions like we saw yesterday here in Pacific Palisades. The difference is the wind that was just not quite as strong as it was yesterday. So that's the good news. The bad news is that the wind is still here, and that means that fire crews are still going to have an uphill battle when it comes to containing these fires that are burning. The wind is blowing in a more predictable direction, but it's still pretty strong. So, you know, while they have the helicopters in, we haven't seen a lot of fixed wing. We haven't seen the big tankers making drops, and we've also had some water pressure issues throughout the city because there are so many fires burning. And as you know, in Los Angeles, very little water to go around. So that's the situation here right now. We're fingers crossed for a little bit better of weather conditions tonight, because we know that the wind won't let up in any big way, meaningful way, until this weekend.
Well, Jennifer, will those water pressure problems be letting up anytime soon?
That's a tough one. We know that there have been a lot of crews called in from around the state, some of them bringing water tenders and water tankers. We heard in the Altadena fire in particular, because this is not a wildland fire, these are municipal water systems that are being used to fight these fires. They're hooking up to fire hydrants, and there's only so much pressure to go around. So that's the difficulty in fighting a fire of this scale. It's like a wildfire, but it's in a residential neighborhood. It's just, there's no infrastructure really for that. And this situation is very unusual, even for California.
All right, NBC's Jennifer Bjorklund live for us in Los Angeles. Be safe. Thank you for bringing us the story there live.
Incredibly scary for so many people there in harm's way tonight. California, by the way, 3 hours behind us there. So they are just beginning the nighttime firefight. You saw it was dark. News 4 is working for you overnight, following the latest news conferences and updates. So wake up with us for the very latest information first thing in the morning. News 4 today begins at 4:26 a.m.
Close to home, a Montgomery County judge today found a former Wooten High School student guilty on one count of threat of mass violence. Police arrested Alex Yee last April after discovering more than 100 pages of documents detailing his plan for a school shooting. In it, he also mentioned carrying out a school shooting in Lakewood Elementary School. Yee faces up to 10 years in prison. His sentencing is set for February 28th.
Well, there is much more to come here on News 4 at 11, including more local dogs being hurt during walks with their owners.
Yeah, last night we told you about a D.C. man whose dog was electrocuted near a metal grate during Monday's storm. Tonight, people in Navy Yard, Southeast D.C. tell us it happens there, too.
There were a number of dogs that were getting shocked right here at the door. Definitely have to take a look into, what's happening here, because it's just unfortunate. We need to figure out what's going on.
The possible common thread between the various cases.
First, let's check back in with Doug ahead of our next chance for snow, Doug.
Yeah, and that's coming up during the day, Saturday, maybe Friday night into Saturday. Some new information I've got for you coming up.
Last night at 11, we told you about the apparent electrocution deaths of 2 dogs at the same location in Northwest D.C. Well, tonight, Pepco is releasing new information into its investigation.
Plus, we have new details now about an eerily similar incident that happened a while back in Southeast, the neighborhood of Navy Yard. News 4's Jackie Benson is looking into those cases for us.
Dogs were just walking by, and the concierge is like, hey, they're yelping and they're screaming as they come through the door.
Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner Edward Daniels describes the incident that constituents brought to his attention back in 2021. He says Pepco was asked to investigate after people reported their dogs received electric shocks as they walked into or near an apartment building in the 300 block of Tingey Street, Southeast. Daniels says Pepco discovered no wiring or other problems. What, to his best guess, may have been strong static shocks appeared to go away after the building put down rubber mats in the entryway, he says. When he saw our story about 2 dogs fatally electrocuted in front of 1140 19th Street Northwest in separate incidents Monday, Daniels remembered what the weather was like when dogs were getting shocked in Navy Yard.
It was always wintertime right around the snowfall and around the same conditions that we have on the ground now.
Pepco had a large and active presence in the 1100 block of 19th Street Northwest Tuesday as crews tried to figure out what caused the apparent electrocution deaths of 2 dogs hours apart. One was King, a boxer. He was a beloved pet and support dog for 20-year-old Nico Williams, who told News 4 what he felt when he kneeled down to try and help the dog he called his baby brother.
I felt with Twisty on the ground and flew out his body.
In an updated statement, Pepco said Crews conducted an inspection and have confirmed there is no stray voltage in the area and the area is safe. PEPCO is conducting a thorough investigation of this incident to understand what took place and what may have caused this issue. This investigation will include industry peers and third-party experts. We expect the full investigation to take approximately 60 days, about 2 months. Commissioner Daniels says he is interested in creating a task force to try and get some answers on just what is causing this sort of thing. In Southeast Washington, Jackie Benson, News 4.
Let's hope they figure that out for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, today, another snow day for many kids all across our region. While they were out there having fun, take a look. A few Hyattsville police officers decided to join these kids.
Hey, why not? As you can see here, they took a brief break from work to go sledding down some hills there. With no school for some kids tomorrow and snow still on the ground, there's going to be more sledding and snowman building opportunities in the days to come. And in preparation for more snow like we had this week, a new campaign is encouraging people to be conscious of their salt usage this winter. Today, Montgomery County and WSSC Water announced they're joining forces to launch the 2025 SaltWise campaign.
They say while salt keeps us safe during winter storms, too much salt can have a negative impact on our environment.
It's an important tool for keeping us safe, but it's harmful for our plants, the Potomac and Patuxent rivers, which are drinking water sources. It can also harm animals and our built environment.
Now, to be salt wise, the experts suggest you shovel early and often to prevent ice buildup. Use only 1.5 cups of salt for a 20-foot driveway or every 10 sidewalk squares. And finally, sweep up all the excess salt after the storms and then reuse it.
That's a good idea. Make sure your dogs have like the booties on.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't like it either.
No, they don't, not at all. Well, so it's kind of hard to shovel out there because it's all frozen now.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of amazing what we have. I mean, here we go. Normally in our area, we see the snowstorms come, and then in a couple of days, it turns brown and kind of yucky, but then it gets out of here. That's not the case this time.
Right.
It's going to stick around for not only this week, but probably in the next week. You know, we have school closings again tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised to see delays on Friday either. Hopefully not any more closures, however. Take a look at what we've got out there right now, out there towards Rockville Pike. Looking pretty good around Rockville. Our Rockville camera looking okay this evening. But look at this, temperature-wise. Boy, is it on the cold side. Right now, 26. But that wind still, this is the sustained wind at 16. Wind chill right now sitting at 14 degrees. But we're still seeing gusts close to 30 miles an hour. Again, I was walking through downtown. Boy, was it cold out there, and everybody just shivering coming out of the Caps game a little bit earlier tonight. Current wind chill, look at these numbers. 8 in Clinton, 5 in Gaithersburg, 9 in Martinsburg. Look at Baltimore coming in at 9 degrees. By the way, I already told Jim and Sean this, but I took my son down to the game. He took his jacket off and he put it in the car. And I said, you might not want to do that, son. He stayed at the game. I had to come back to work. He had to go home without a coat.
Oh.
He's 18.
Tough lesson.
He's 18. Nothing I can do, right? I can only tell him, your dad's only the weather guy.
Right.
I don't know. Storm Team 4 radar tracking some shower activity. Snow showers, that is. We've seen a lot of them. Areas like Winchester, Marshall, Warrenton has picked up a couple. We got another one right there. Look at that, right around Marshall. You look outside right now along 66, maybe a couple of snowflakes falling. Nothing big, but there were a couple of areas that saw a coating today. And that's because of that northwest flow right off the lakes. We could see it again tomorrow in places. I don't think it'll be as prevalent as it was today back toward the west, but something we'll track for you. The cold air is in place. Our next storm system, it's kind of tough to see on the map. It's way down here coming out of Mexico. This storm actually helped to fuel the wind for the fires in California, and now it's bringing areas of snow, potentially a lot of snow, in towards areas like Dallas. Could make for a major storm, not just in Dallas, but areas like Little Rock, Atlanta, Birmingham, Alabama. This is going to be a storm that affects the deep south here. Parts of the Carolinas also going to be affected. Raleigh, Charlotte, North Carolina will see more snow from this than we will. We do have a chance of snow, but it's not a lot. This storm system travels far enough to the south that we don't get in on a whole lot of the moisture. So not a big storm at all. Snow ending early Saturday morning, and by early, probably before most of us get up. And current snow and ice will still stick around all through the weekend. With these numbers, temperatures barely getting above freezing. Saturday 36, but with cloud cover, especially early, that storm moves through. We see some sunshine on Sunday. We will see some pretty good melting Sunday and Monday, but then another cold front comes through and gets us right back at or below freezing as we head towards the middle of next week. The 10-day forecast, no real big chances for storms.
Yeah.
The next chance for a storm that I'm watching right around Inauguration Day. That's what we're going to, that's the next one that does kind of set up the right way for a storm. So we'll wait and see what happens with that one.
Okay, got a couple days.
Long way to go.
Indeed. All right, thank you, Doug.
Here's what's ahead on The Tonight Show.
Hey everyone, Jamie Lee Curtis is my guest tonight. Plus, we have Mikey Madison, music from Michael Shannon and Jason Narducci. It's a great show tonight.
This is the Xfinity Sports Desk.
The Caps won in overtime in D.C. tonight. They beat the Vancouver Canucks 2-1. Pierre-Luc Dubois scored both of the Caps' goals. No goals tonight for Alex Ovechkin for the second game in a row, but he's still on his way to breaking that big record. Right now, Ovi has 872 goals, 23 shy of passing Wayne Gretzky's NHL all-time scoring record of 894. Ovi will get his next chance to score Friday night when the team plays the Montreal Canadiens. Commanders fans are gearing up for the big make-or-break game this Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, Big, you said it. Earlier today, the team was back on the practice field. Coach Dan Quinn and the players say they're not looking to make any dramatic changes heading into this game. They simply want to do what they've been doing all season long.
Let's change some things up. I thought we'd really, maybe we'll practice at night this week, and they just kind of looked at me, head tilted. I said, no, man, I'm just bullshit. We're going to do exactly what we do. I said, I've been saying this for 17 weeks. It's, a process of winning that you go through to get ourselves ready.
Like the focus level might be a little bit more, but you got to stay who you are throughout the week, who you've been for these 17, 18 weeks, and go out there and just play ball.
And you can watch the Commanders take on the Bucs this Sunday night right here on NBC4. We'll get you ready for the game with News 4 at 6. Then at 7, J.P. Finley will anchor our coverage from Tampa in a special pregame show. NBC Sports takes over at 7:30. Then stay with us for postgame reaction on News 4 at 11 and, of course, Sports Final. We'll be right back. President Biden welcomed his first great-grandchild today in California after his granddaughter, Naomi Biden, gave birth. The First Lady posted this photo on her Instagram account of the two embracing their grandson, William Brannon Neal IV.
Aww.
President Biden is now the first modern president to have a great-grandchild born while in office.
Congratulations.
Before we go tonight, on behalf of the entire News 4 family, we want to thank so many of you who shared your condolences since we announced the death of our friend and longtime colleague, Derek Ward.
Derek passed away yesterday from complications from a cardiac arrest. Derek was a D.C. Renaissance man. He grew up in D.C.'s Marshall Heights and the H Street corridor neighborhood. He lived through the 1968 riots, attended H.T. Woodson High School and the University of Maryland. He first worked in radio with stops at WPFW, WAMU, and WTOP. He covered the 9/11 attacks, the Washington area sniper shootings. He made his way to News 4 back in 2006 and became one of our resident poets. Derek certainly had a way with words and with music. He shined when he had a pen, a microphone, or a guitar in his hands.
Derek leaves behind 3 children. His family issued a statement today that reads in part, Derek has been an inspiration and cherished member of our family and his hometown community. As a distinguished journalist, Derek's storytelling, prolific writing, warmth, and humor touched countless lives. Our children and our entire family will miss him dearly. Derek Ward was 62 years old.